That is the journey. So I was saying, and then then you are not in competition, not in conflict. Sam, I was just talking that except you, they all have been waiting few minutes before. So I was saying to them that it is my duty and it is your right. Understand the difference between the duty and the right. Am I always ready to do my duty for the society, for the people in the family, for everyone? I have nothing to worry. I'm in peace. I'm in peace. That needs to be understood. So once we understand that part, the life changes drastically. You can listen to it, Brandy, later in the audio, what I was talking. So, what we are talking, do you remember that we are trying to understand what is knowledge, what is dispassion, what is delusion, what is emotional freedom? 4 questions, 7 questions. Yes, what is the difference between individual and the supreme consciousness? And 7 questions. What is knowledge? What is dispassion? What is delusion? What is emotional freedom? What is the difference between the individual and the supreme consciousness? And how to remove the sorrow and the suffering and the delusion. So in last week we did that last session. Do you still remember? I know that you all remember. Don't get offended, sometimes people get offended unnecessarily. So, so knowledge, I'm just in one liner. Knowledge, humility, qualified seeker, inner and outer wealth, righteous life, and permanent happiness. This is the sequence. Opposite of that, is laziness. It means I'm a non-seeker. So then I have 1,000,000 complaints. Absence of knowledge, non-seeker, not qualified, no humility, no readiness, no happiness. And the journey is very clearly defined, that satsang, listening again and again, understanding, contemplating, reflecting, contemplating and reflecting, again and again, contemplating and reflecting again and again results in what I discussed briefly in the last session, in the sense of dispassion or detachment. So once I live into that state of dispassion, the delusion is gone. No wrong notions in the mind. And when there are no wrong notions, mind is rich. There is a natural state of the steadiness. And when there is a natural state of the steadiness, then with eyes open or closed, you are living with your honey or not, anywhere you're driving, you are in the state of meditation. But why? Because that you start thinking, speaking, and living into that natural state. Last time we covered, so we will go a little deeper. What appears true is not true. I have repeated this statement again and again, but why? So we covered that the shape, modification, and the variation that we see in the world outside is the cause of delusion. They are not true. What is not true? You are true, but your shape, your changes, modification, and the variation is not true. Why you are angry? No, sometimes I also become angry, so cool down. You see the simple thing. So when I say why you are becoming angry, so I am blaming the shape. Your mind has been modified at a particular, yes, you also, because of some situation. So what the seeker has to do, can the seeker maintain that calmness? Oh, no, it's okay, it's okay. It's a part of the life. It's a way. Do you see that? The moment we are aware that this shape, modification, and any variation that is happening in the world appears true, but it is not true. And that takes the mind to the ultimate cause. We all are the body that appears, the body is changing, the mind is changing, all belongs to the matter, and I am not the matter. I am consciousness. One thing is clear. So when that is clear, then why my mind has to fight and react and excited with the different variation? But why we are learning this? You have to put logic, you have to put reasoning. Why we are learning this? Because I want to remove unhappiness, dissatisfaction, anxiety, reaction, animal mind. I want to awaken to permanent peace and happiness, which cannot be found in anything that is changing. Body is changing, mind is changing. Can I get permanent happiness which is not permanent? So what my mind does in delusion, I look at your shape, size, etc., and I said, you are this. What appears true is not true. Everything. It has to happen in the knowledge. Don't start saying, I don't believe in your shape, so honey, so it's okay. No. It has to, you have to live into that knowledge. You have to live into that. That makes this journey so interesting. So interesting. In the beginning, I was also confused, but more clear. Now what happens? Now see that what happens. Are you clear that what appears true is not true? Now what will happen to the mind? The mind will start searching naturally what is the higher consciousness. It will not go down. It always goes down with reference to, again I'm repeating, it with reference to shape, with reference to modification, with reference to variation. So they have given a specific name. Master has given a specific name. They say Prakriti. Prakriti is all the world of the name and the form. Material world with millions of names and form, always in motion, changing, creating event, situation, interaction with millions of names and the forms, place and the objects is compulsory, forced to us by the existence. Don't you see that? Did you get this? Prakriti. You wake up in the morning, you are open to the world of the home in which you live, the people, the members of the family, the friends and the foes, the profession, etc. This is all about, you can say it is the Prakriti, it is the material world. What this material world offers? By default, we have an animal mind, we have the four instincts, modification is going on, body is changing, mind is changing, breath is changing, ego is changing. Should I stick to this or should I move upward? So if I'm obsessed with the things of the name and the form, this mind cannot evolve. You do whatever you want to do. You can dream that I am awakened. Nothing will happen. Everyone is earning in one way or the other. Everyone mates, everyone is seeking a pleasure. But rare one likes to evolve, rise in consciousness. That is what we are, a seeker. Keep your focus on what we are learning. So I can give a title. What title I can give? That what we are doing, where we are going, do I know it? Am I aware of it? If I am aware of it, then the life will change. And the seeker is always aware of it. You know what happens because of the confusion with the name, form, variation in the changes in the world. A student, after learning, was going to home from the forest. The teacher has a monastery in the forest. So first lesson. What is the first lesson? Just see God in every name and the form. You see what confusion that we get it. I'm making you aware through an example. Remember this example all the time. So student learned the first lesson that God is everywhere. God is in every name and the form. So when he was returning to his home, a man passing by, he warned that there is a tiger on this path. Change your path. Go from that, the other path. Student did not listen. No, why? Because Master taught me God is everywhere. He did not listen. Student tiger attacked him, hurt, at least, but he could save his life because many other people could save him. Next day he went to the master. Now see, teaching is just the opposite. So master heard his story. Master said, "You crazy student. After all, a man warned you. You did not see man God, you only see tiger God." Did you understand that? That existence is constantly warning us not to fall into delusion. We don't listen to it. Why we don't listen? Because of the delusion. Because of the attachment. The Master simply said, if tiger God is there, the man God is also there. We don't listen to it. No, every human being is wonderful except my honey. Because no, I'm not going there. For me, honey has many. So think of this. Existence is here and now, ready. Am I ready as a seeker? Am I ready as a seeker? I can go on talking. Did Bill Gates end suffering in his life? Did Elon Musk end suffering? Before and after earning the wealth, we are suffering caused by the emotional dependence, delusion. We study and study, we did PhD. Did we bring an end to the suffering? We are doing everything in the world outside with an intention that this name and the form this variation, this modification will bring peace to me. Not possible. Just make it sure. Why? Only one statement. What appears true is not true. What the world will give me is status with the professional competition, more money with the app fully busy. I got good marks, but suffering did not end. Recognition, but recognition does not end my suffering. You have to separate it clearly. This is how you are removing the delusion. And this mind is not going anywhere. This mind will naturally remain steady and happy. What did we get? Increase our worries. Restricted to do a job that demands lower qualification. That is what is happening. No qualitative change in the mind. And that is how, because of the name, form, and all these, contemplate and reflect deeply. You will find the mind plays with the competition, jealousy, complex, likes and dislikes. This is all the part of the delusion. Now, what do you mean? Do we stop earning? Should I live? No. The master wants outer riches, inner poverty, and vice versa. Inner riches and outer poverty. The masters never talk about this. There's a very deep confusion. I have enough to sustain my life, I can devote more time to meditation. What we are talking, where we are going. We are getting a knowledge gradually, step by step. When we are totally engaged, obsessed with the name, form, and the variation, we are living in delusion. And that is the fundamental cause of the suffering. Eastern wisdom says, we do not know who am I, so I also act as a name and the form. Yesterday was a different form. Today I have changed, my mind has changed. Yesterday I fought with you. Today I say sorry. That I have been doing it regularly, daily. I don't recognize that delusion. What we know about who am I is always in relationship to the shape, size, weight, color, body, wealth, qualification, recognition, followers. Not required. This world of the name and the form, Buddha says, this world is the cause of suffering. But we understand, the world outside is a cause of suffering, so become a monk. You will be more stressed becoming a monk. We cannot live in the house existence has provided and you are going to the Himalayas to live there. You have a lot of problems in your house and you want to live as if you will find the permanent peace. This world of created by my mind in delusion is problem. This is, we are learning, so knowledge of who am I, the manual in the Eastern wisdom, there is a system is in place and that is what we are learning. Why we are discussing this problem is that I am not in peace, happiness, love and wisdom. Ignorance is there about who am I. And that ignorance is appears very small, little, insignificant. But still, it creates a lot of problem. Last time you might have heard during the practice of meditation, lot of buzzing sound. I spent an hour with this Logitech support group. He said, do this, change this. I did everything the problem sustains. Now see that what happens in delusion. There's a perfect example. They sent me a new piece. It's working. Sunday in the morning. It just came to me. Sam will understand there is a USB 2 and there is a USB 3. So I connected the camera to the USB 3. It's a simple plug. Either you put it to the USB 3 or USB 2. So my mind said, can I check the old camera with USB 2? It was working. No budge. The technician supported me for an hour. Sam, it is not compatible with USB 3. So now I have two cameras. You want, then I can give you. So I asked him, he said, no, you have to throw it, we are not taking it. It's not even a matter of 1 second. You see the difference between the knowledge and the ignorance. So knowledge supplied by that technician, here the knowledge given to you all by this crazy guy will not work unless you work on it. That is the message. That is the message. You have to listen to it. You have to contemplate and reflect. Are you getting it? I have daily life examples. So just see that, then come to another problem that we come. This mind does not want to discover what is beyond the name and the form. Why? My life is nothing but the sum of cherished desires, some emotions, good and bad, some thoughts, some feelings and possessions. That is the way I want to live. No, it will not work. I have to transcend them all. Where? In the mind. And once we transcend this variation, again making you understand the name and the form word has variation, has species, and I must see my honey beyond the name and the form. Ask yourself, will you have any reaction? Will you have any excitement? Will you fall into confusion? Why I see it? 60 years ago, I was a baby. Body has changed. Now, this body with a grey beard. At a particular time, label was given to me as a husband or a wife. See that? At a particular time, I existed throughout my journey. That I has not to be linked or associated with variation, with modification. Oh, I became angry today, excited. Okay, let me take sorry. And then let me make a resolve to myself. I'm not going to be angry on this issue in the future. The mind will change. Are you getting it? Yes, I'm getting it. So now you have some reflection that then who am I? When I am beyond this name and the form and this variation in the change. If you know this, how dare you can be sad? Having a big face. How can you be sad? How dare you can give pain to yourself by being agitated and insulting others? How dare you compete, react and jealous of others? Are you getting it? It comes naturally to you. How dare you are fully busy? I have been saying this. How dare you are angry over whom you love so much? You instantly recognize it. Oh, it is attachment. That's why I did this. It's not the real love. You can add 50 sentences pertaining to your behavior and attitude, adding how dare you. How dare I? If you know the word, now see the other part. My master discussed this in a different reference, but I'm giving my own. How dare you reject the word in defeat, loss, pain, gets deeply attached in profit and the pleasure? How dare you feel lonely when everyone leaves, even your home? We feel sense of loneliness. There are 5 members in the family and you are alone. No, you go and do the do the shopping and come back. But in these 2 hours, when you are sitting alone not doing anything, you feel a sense of loneliness. How dare you? How dare you suffer due to varying, changing conditions of the world because you are not the world? How dare you like to control the world so huge? Now see, we want to control the world. That is another point of delusion. How dare you like to control the world? If I say to myself, I'm only 6 feet as compared to the entire universe, I cannot. With limited intelligence. I gave an example of this Logitech. So when you think in this way, the mind says, now I am relaxed. O mind, be at peace. This will also pass. See that? That is the beauty of these teachings. So what is the main theme of today's knowledge is that we filter out what I am not. When you filter out what I am not, what is left that cannot be filtered out is what you are. We do it. 7304 is my house number. 7212, no, it's not my number. It's not. We filter out. Then what cannot be deleted, what cannot be filtered is me. This approach had been applied by every master directly or indirectly in order to discover that real self, my friends. So think of this, and now you all are thinking, why should I say you think of this? So let us start our practice. Eyes are closed and eyes are closed. Being a seeker, should I say, be steady, eyes closed, mind facing within. As a seeker, you do it. You are already there. Sarve sham swastir bhavatu. Sarve sham swastir bhavatu. May there be well-being for all. That is, a well-being is a common factor, common denominator. How do you say? My shape, our shape, size, age, gender, attitude in the mind, behavior, excitement, thoughts, all are different, except one common factor, that is the well-being. Did you filter out what is not required? See, from that point of view, it came to my mind inside, oh, let me try. From this plug to USB 3 to USB 2. Simple. The knowledge is gained in awareness naturally, not by an effort. When we are a seeker. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. May there be peace for all. So I recognize, after filtering out everything, all the name variation, modifications, I see a common factor of the peace is there. Naturally it will be there. You cannot filter this out. Sarvesham Puranam Bhavatu. May there be completeness in all. May there be completeness in all. Sarvesham Puranam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Puranam Bhavatu. In this group also, and when women said that I always go for morning walk with this mantra in my mind. So she reported a month ago that I don't see the world outside. I see only the common factor. It doesn't mean that you are not aware of it. You are aware. Now the mind has left. Again, I'm repeating that variation, that modification. That mind has removed the delusion. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Pay attention to this last. May there be auspiciousness in all. So I gave another understanding of this. Auspiciousness means where happiness and the knowledge are not separated. Means what? We do not forget the real self. We have the knowledge. Only one mantra can help us reach there. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. I always like to repeat and give you the same step, being comfortable, moving the mind slowly, gently on all the joints of the body, from the neck joint, shoulders, elbows. Take your time, hip joint, knees, ankles. As you move, you experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Being comfortable and also being carefree, free from all the cares that this mind does. This mind, in ignorance, cares only what is already known to me. What is known to me? Stress, suffering, competition, jealousy, reaction, anger. So it wants to find a solution from there. Again, I'm repeating. Technical expert always like to find a solution from what is already known. That is what is being carefree. Thoughts, feelings, sensation, images, goodbye. So in that state, we go for Nya. Start breathing deep, silent, slow. and find out, discover that verse: knowledge, humility, qualification, inner wealth, righteous life of the Shreyas, permanent happiness. And that is what exactly we are doing in the Nyasa. So check that your deep silent slow breath is not causing any reaction in the mind. You make it little slower, make it little deeper. What difference it is? And while inhaling, the mind moves inside the right arm in the space, singing Om Shanti. While in exhaling, the mind moves on the highway, the space. So now I believe you are clear. It is moving on the highway because you know the answer. I don't want to get entangled with any name and the form, the modification, and the variation that is presented by the mind to me. I am going behind that. Once that knowledge is clear to you, means what? The mind is not plugged into USB 3, it is plugged into USB 2. What effort you need? It's so natural. Who doesn't want to treat the path, their mind says it is difficult. Master never leaves you at any point. And you will discover the steadiness is naturally maintained. You may start finding different tingling sensation in the body, numbness and freezing. Recognize and accept. Do not react to it. Now move the mind inside the left arm. It is deep, silent, and slow. You are singing Om Shanti. You have already known all the tantrums of the mind. Mind sometimes wants to be lazy, falling into unconsciousness, but you are doing Om Shanti, and deep silence, slow breathing is preventing your mind to fall back into the same lower consciousness. You see, a lot of things happening. So when you are doing a practice, you will discover it. Yes, it is possible. And due to a specific physical condition, even if the body is moving, it's okay. Your mind is not moving it. That should be clear. At a very deeper level, it is only the mind that moves the body. But you are not doing it consciously. It's okay. Now inside the right leg. I know I need not to speak a lot because you are absorbed into the journey. You speak a lot during the practice of meditation also because so that your mind remains attentive. But now it is not required. Continue. Sensation, relaxation, and stillness is there in the body. The mind continues to follow the breath, or the breath follows the mind. In the highway, Om Shanti, you are singing in your mind. What a beauty. Inside the left leg, I know you can really experience as if the mind is traveling beyond the shape of the left leg. That mind with the knowledge filters out. And then what happens sometimes, you find as if the bodilessness is there. Good. Self-absorption is there. Good. The body expands or contracts, etc., etc. So we are aware of those experiences, but we are filtering out everything. The body is there, whether it appears or disappears, absorbs or small or big. Simple. And now inside the spine, from the crown of the head going down, in the spine reaching to the tailbone. But Shanti, intellect has a knowledge and it wants to reach to that knowledge. Om is the real self and Shanti. So that we are preparing the mind for the next step also. And while exhaling, the mind moves from the lower spine to the top of the head. Shanti. Shanti. The mind now leave that step and moving inside the heart with a triangle, equilateral triangle pointing upward, symbolism of Shiva, but it is all about knowledge, desire, and action. So as you move your mind on one side of a triangle, either clockwise or anti-clockwise, doesn't matter. One side, your mind is aware of the knowledge, what you are seeking. Second side, what you are seeking is the desire, that is the base. And the third is action. So you moved it, and then what is that action? You look at the center of the triangle, move your mind deep inside into the cave of your heart while singing Om. And then you see there is a sense of total stillness inside, as if everything has stopped. There you drop Shanti. You feel that you are as if you are absorbed deeper inside. Nothing to do with the body, mind, breath, thought, feeling, sensation, reaction, anger, hesitation, pleasure. We find a kind of separation. And again, the moment any thought comes, okay, I'm going again. Clockwise, anti-clockwise. Knowledge Desire. Now, see, now, when we say that you bring an end to all the desires to reach to that state, so here it is an unbinding desire. Desire to know real self. Where is real self? The mind absorbs. Not binding desires pertaining to the name, shape, form, variation. And this takes a pretty longer period. And sometimes it happens. It depends on person to person. Shanti. You are free to say Shanti 3 times or only once, but see that you are what you have been thinking, that what you are is lost. But you still live into that state of awareness. That is the beauty. Shanti. And now even stop this Om Shanti with the triangle. Not very difficult to do at this stage, or not to do. We are entering perfectly into a state of doing nothing. In that state of doing nothing, the moment you know anything, what I'm saying trying to express rightly, and I will do it in all the sessions, that whatever appears on the surface of the mind, whatever is known by the mind, you separate yourself. Oh, so I need an effort? No. Just know it. How do I know that I'm separate from you at the physical level? Then at the mental level, then at the emotional level. So here the Master says, known by the mind, not me. What is reflected in the mind, I know, I'm sure I am. I'll go step by step deeply into this. Just be there. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. How are you, Stephen?
it was, I had moments of being cold, colder than I've ever been. But I recognized that and just let it go. What I did find about the meditation was this, I was absorbed in the flow of my breath. I was deep within the breath itself. And at a certain point, I realized that I wasn't really following the limbs during the nyasa. It wasn't until the right leg that I realized that the breath was going to the heart center. And I was like, oh, okay. So I realized that, that's what was happening. So even though and then I'd go back to the right leg, and then I'd end up back in the heart center. Then we went to the left leg, and I was back in the heart center. Then we went to that crown to the thing. I was back in the heart center, and I was just, okay, that's what it is. And it was just every time I went to that heart center, the space just kept getting bigger and bigger.
You are right. I will say one thing to explain it. As long as this mind desires anything in the world of name and the form, it is not there. But if the mind returns again and again to the heart center, indicates that this mind desires the real self. So it means that triangle is working in your case. Beautiful. How are you, Brandy?
Great, thanks. My meditation was pretty deep and dark. I experienced a lot of bodilessness. And I kind of went back to our lesson from last week, too. I was thinking about coming from the inside out,
Yes,
the piece from, I don't know. It was nice.
Very good. Very good. That's really good. So how are you, David and Jerry?
Very, very good. Some aspects similar to Stephen's about being with the breath the whole time. But I found when we did the triangle and we got to the center, it was like a vortex. It was like the eye of the tornado. It was very calm in there, in that center. Beautiful. And I think I spent the rest of the time in that quietness.
Quietness. That is beautiful. Yeah, that quietness will reveal the real self. Beautiful. How are you, Jerry?
Sure, I'm good. It was quick. It was calm. During the nyasa, I found that I started at the body, but right away went into the space, and the mind just focused on the space. And then in the triangle, initially, and this has been happening almost every time we do the triangle, I feel a little nauseous initially, and almost like a tethered. And the mind started to focus on that, and then when I let it go, it just got illuminated, the space and expansive.
Yes, you are right, because either in the space or deep inside the heart, both are the same thing. But everyone's mind expresses differently. That is beautiful. How are you, Lara?
I am good. Thank you. I kind of did my own practice this morning. I just got kind of deep into my breath, and I was having just a very quiet experience within. And then when you did get to the triangle, there's something here called the Care Bears, and there's like this thing that like beams from their heart. And so I kept my triangle just was like beaming out. It was like knowledge, power, action.
That's another point, that is what happens in variety of our experiences. We all are doing the same meditation, but because of our mind and temperament, past impression, clarity and the purity, so our experiences are different. So even when it is beaming out, that exactly is the same thing. What Stephen, Jerry, and David and Brandy had been talking about it. What is why? Think of it. I will answer in the next lesson. Thank you.
Well, and I just want to let you know, I'm not going to be with you guys for the next month or so. My schedule has changed a little bit, so I'm not available to be at this time slot. So I'll be listening
How
to the
can
session later.
how can you leave us?
Well, I have
How
to
dare
work,
you leave us?
so yes. So I'll listen later, and then I'll come back when I can.
Okay. So how are you, Sam? Yeah. I'll just come to you, Kat, after Sam.
I'm really good. Again, I'm trying to not judge too much the difference in experience, but I'm definitely noticing that the meditation goes one of two ways. One seeming like I'm oriented towards a lighter and brighter experience, and the one where it gets a little bit darker. Again, sometimes I feel like I'm leaning forward or coming towards the ground. I'm wondering if that's an indicator of, my body being tired today or something like that. But
Yeah.
it seems to be oriented around when my schedule is a little bit off, but that's okay because it's a signal. But maybe there's no meaning to it, and maybe I'm trying to prescribe a meaning that doesn't need to be.
So if the mind recognizes anything pertaining to the world of name in the form and the variation and filters out, as you said, you are not at all concerned, that is beautiful. So it means that when we are not concerned, the mind will continue to go deeper and becomes the brighter part. That is very good. Wonderful. How are you, Kate? Kate raised her hand, so I thought she might be in a hurry.
Hey, to Laura's energy, we love you, we'll miss you, but your energy is always here and available. So that's all. I was just sending a little namaste because Laura said she will not be with us for a little while. Anyway, that being said, the meditation, I noticed at times a lot of color, mostly purples and magenta-ish color, and then light, some green. Anyway, when we're doing the triangle. And then the other piece is noticing the revelation of, and I think even prompted us, maybe that's why it happened, but moments of feeling, or not even feeling, moments of not me.
Good. Yeah, magenta, sometime our masters refer to the intuitive and the illuminative power, more of the illuminative power of the mind. So that also indicates that the mind has gone deeper. So I will again, you referred Lara, so I already told her that how dare she leaves us. So anyhow, so how are you? Go.
Good morning, sir. I'm okay. We went, as you said, close your eyes. My cat Ghost came, sat next to me. My eyes are closed. I hear the purring.
Yeah.
Purring brought me into my own body. I said, oh, he's listening. So, very comfortable. My energy danced throughout my bones today before it settled down with joy. And once I got into the triangle, I did not see the triangle, but I knew it was there, so it was fine. And I went around the triangle without even seeing, but I knew it was fine. So I just kept doing that circular motion with the 3 levels.
Good.
Just knew it was there. It didn't need to be there where I could see it inside.
Wonderful. That's good. That's good. And that's a sign of the progress.
Oh, good.
How are you, Terry? Yeah. Only, 2 people are left here.
Let's see.
You want to see the real self before you?
I couldn't get out of. The body was pulling me to itself by its actions.
Yeah.
and I had these, so I kept having thoughts, and I wanted to like destroy it so I could just get out of it. I wanted to get out of it, and I was aware of the level where there's stillness, like
Yeah.
like it's like in the space up here there was like almost like a plateau, but it wasn't physical, it was just imagined. And I kept seeing like like a point of white light, and I kept trying to go up there, but the triangle was jumping all around because the body was jumping around.
Yeah,
And so I kept having thoughts and it wouldn't stop.
it won't stop. Yes, because of the identification thing. That traditionally what we say that if we can reach to a point of steadiness or the stillness or emotionless state of the body, so it keeps the mind withdrawn within. But that is not a mandatory principle. Even when the body is moving, we can still separate the mind from the body and can help us reach to the higher consciousness. So what is the problem that you are facing, the body and its movement, because of the challenges that you have? But don't leave it, continue doing it. And once you find that state, it is possible. How are you, Vaibhav?
So I'm good. It was quite very peaceful. It was like that I'm in uh, much control of myself without trying it. So
That is
it was
good
very
point.
peaceful.
That is wonderful point, without trying it. So who is trying? The mind. How it is trying? With reference to the world outside, with reference to the space, with reference to the variation, with reference to the thought and the feeling. So when we bypass that, we can reach to that state. Wonderful. Thank you very much. That is all for today.
Thank you.
Sir.
Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste.
हाँ जी बोलो क्या कह रहे थे